Wealth builders. This is Ravi Gabis, and welcome back to the Gabis Show, where we unlock the secrets of real wealth in the United States every single day. Last time we talked about the strategy of achieving limitless results. Today I want to give one more puzzle to make it really work. Your brain need to know what it wants, what you want. Actually, it's about setting goals. The main problem with setting goals that I see today, people set goals for the next year, for example, but they don't achieve them. 80% of goals are not achieved, or maybe 70% of goals are not achieved. I pass it through myself every single year. I used to write down 10 goals, put them under my pillow in the Christmas Eve, and when at the end of the year I check that goals, actually maybe only 2 out of 10 were achieved. 8 of them were not achieved. And I do it again and did it again and again and again. And one day I realized what was the problem. Now I want you to think about your 10 goals. Just think about them. You may pause this video, write down 10 goals. I don't know. It can be anything at all. I want a Lamborghini. I want a house. I want to go to a trip. I want to present on my parents' anniversary trip. I want to bring my children to Disneyland. I want to make a cruise on a Voyager, huge Virgin liner, anything at all. 10 of them. Write them down and calculate how much it costs. So for all of them, how much you have to pay to get all of these goals. If you do this, I recommend you doing this so you have an understanding how it works here, or just calculate it quickly in your mind. What I usually see when people do this exercise, that goals are different, and people need different amount of money to achieve their goals. Someone needs just 50K. Someone needs $1 million. Someone needs $1 billion. So goals may be different. But the main thing in order to have these goals in your life is to set them. If you don't set, they will never be achieved, because everything for your brain is a task. Your brain works in a very simplistic way. Okay, the second thing, what I want you to pay attention to, for how long these goals are set, I mean, period. How long you give yourself to achieve these goals. Some people set goals for 6 months or 1 year. Some people, most of people set goals for 3 years or 5 years. Very few people set goals for 10 years and even more. But in average, what I noticed, that period is around 3 to 5 years. So this is the period when a person knows what he wants and how much it costs. But how it works? Let's check this. Why goals are not achieved? There is such a thing as a life line, or your way of how long you're going to live in this world, or kind of planning to live. So let's take point A and point B. Point A is the point today, so the point that you have today. And point B is where are you going? How long are you planning to live? Let's do the following. I don't know your age. I can suppose that maybe you're 20 or 25, or maybe you're 40 or 55, or maybe even more or younger. But I think we can meet somewhere in the middle at 35. 33, 35 is the average age of people who watch my videos, who follow me on Instagram, and who come to my live events, live seminars. So let's suppose that today you're 35. It's point A. What's your point B? For how long are you planning to live? Some people say at 60, but be very careful here, because your brain, everything accepts as a task. And when you say, I'm going to live up to 60, your brain accepts this as a task, and it starts realizing this task. That's why we're very careful. Some people say 80, some people say 90 or 100 years, and a lot of people want to live even more than 100 years. Some people say, I don't want to live too long because of my health. But in 2030, kind of the science, the world economy is expecting some kind of biological revolution. So it means that a lot of things will be way cheaper than it costs today. I mean, I'm talking about medicine. I mean, replacing organs, growing new organs, and the price will be more affordable than today. It means that the only thing you need to live longer and to be in a good shape when you're 100 years old is just having money. And this is what we're working on. That's why you can easily live 100 years and more. Actually, I want to live 150 years and even more. I'm so excited about living today. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. It's the most interesting part of life, actually. But let's suppose that you want to live up to 100 years. So today, 35, 100 years. How much time do you have? 65 years. Okay, what happens then? Now you have goals. And the average period of those goals is usually what I see. From 3 to 5 years. So you set some kind of deadline, 5 years. And you said, I want this, it costs this amount of money. I want this, I want this, I want this, and this. And in total, it costs $10 million. So 5 years. And there is 60 more years. And what is here? As soon as you set yourself that period of 5 years, kind of deadline period, when you have your goals, and as soon as you realize that you want to live up to, I don't know, 80 years, everybody has that number in their mind usually. I want to live 100 years. That two spaces appeared in your mind because your vision about your future is in your mind. And that two spaces appear there. And the question is, what is there at that biggest part, 60 years? Some people say that there will be new goals. But remember, your brain works in the way that it accepts all your goals as a task. So you kind of set task for the next 5 years and you put nothing there in the next part. But your brain, the brain does not understand emptiness. It doesn't exist for your brain. You just can't imagine that. Emptiness is a space, but space is not emptiness. Space is a space. It's a dark room. Okay, dark room is a dark room. So your brain always fills that empty place with something. And the question is, what is going to fill that empty space with the data that it has? What kind of data it has? That goals that you wrote for 5 years. And it will start spreading that goals over that period. And if you wanted your house within 5 years, it can easily spread it over that period, and you will get your house in 20 years only. Or you will never get it at all. Why? Because nobody knows that point B, the day Z, the last day of your life. That's the mystery of life. That's the most interesting part. Nobody knows. And you may never achieve those goals. So that 5-year period will be spread over 65 years. That's why goals are not achieved. Because how does your brain work? You set a deadline, 5-year period, but your brain is not stupid. It's very, very clever. And it's always in the mode of saving energy. It says, okay, I will achieve these goals, but why should I do them in 5-year period? Because there are 60 years ahead. Why should I do it today? Why should I do it tomorrow if I can do it the day after tomorrow? This is how it works. So what should you do? You just need to fill that period with goals. In 10 years, I want this. In 20 years, I want this. When I'm 65, I want this. And when I'm 80, I want this. When I'm 100 years old, I want this and even more. But you didn't do that. Why? I noticed that many people are scared of setting goals. It's very weird because what is to be afraid of? The thing that scares is if I set that goals, I will have to achieve them. And it's very stressful to feel that pressure. But actually, you don't have to achieve them. You just need to write them down. That's it. There's nothing to be afraid of. Some people say, okay, I would write those goals, but I don't know what I will want in 10-year period. Okay? It's not a problem. You can rewrite your goals. So actually what I see, the goals are not set because people are afraid of rewriting the goals. It's like kind of, carrying heavy bags. Oh, I will have to sit down and rewrite my goals. So it's not a big deal. 5 years have passed. You sit down, you write down, you rewrite your goals. It's not carrying heavy bags. But because of that, I mean, being afraid of rewriting goals, people don't set goals. And some people say it's useless. It doesn't work. It works. It works in that way. You just have not learned how to use your brain. Your brain is a miracle. You can achieve any result in your life. Your brain just need to know what you want to have. And what is gonna happen if you do this thing? If you write your goals up to 100 years and even more, what's gonna happen then? So your brain accepts everything as a task. And it starts working in the direction of realizing that task. So they come true. And your brain have some kind of experience of achieving goals in the past. For how long? If today the average age is 35, it means that usually people start achieving financial results in their lives at the age of 20, 23, maybe after graduating from the university, most of people. So it means that there is around 15, 13-year period when your brain achieves results. It knows how to achieve results in this period of time. And now you set a goal for the next 65 years, and your brain has no idea how to achieve results in 65 years, but it has experience of achieving results in 15 years. And here a miracle happens. That deadline that you set for yourself, I mean, 5-year period deadline, starts working magically. So what does your brain do? It starts pressing that 65-year period in 15, 13-year period because it knows how to achieve results in 13, 15 years. And it starts, why deadline starts working? Your brain sees that there are a lot of tasks to be achieved, to be done, and it starts kind of doing them faster. And there is an empty space in that 5-year period, and your brain says, oh, there are so many goals ahead. So he takes some of them and starts doing them faster. Who noticed such kind of things that you set yourself a goal, for example, to pay for a mortgage in 10 years, but you did it in 5 years, or you wanted to buy a car in 3 years or pay off your car loan for your car in 3 years, but you paid it off in 1 year. And you say, oh, it's a miracle. I'm just a lucky one. No, it's not about being lucky. This is how your brain works. And you need to use that tool. If you look at very successful people, I don't know, Elon Musk or Richard Branson or Jeff Bezos or Apple, who's here? Steve Jobs. For how long their goals are, do you think? So how many years? It's beyond their lives. If we take successful companies such as Toyota, they plan their goals for 250 years. They have vision for 250 years where they're going. If we take Leroy Merlin, it's a French company. They plan their future for 300 years. And if you look at these companies, they're pretty successful because people who work inside the company, they have some kind of experience. The company itself exists for 50 years maybe, and they have experience of achieving results for 50 years, no more. And when they have a goal for 300, 250 years ahead, they start pressing that goals in a 50-year period. And this is how huge goals are achieved. So if you want your goals to be achieved faster and be achieved in general, you need to write your goals for whole your life. This is how it works. And you need to learn to use that huge resource, magic resource that you have in your brain. It is your brain. So actually, that's what I wanted to tell you today. That's enough for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.